There is a lot happening around the Indiana Fever right now, and we need to work through all of it with the honesty and the analytical attention it deserves. Because this is a week where the positive developments are genuinely significant, the historical milestones approaching are genuinely extraordinary, and the competitive context of the upcoming West Coast trip sets the stage for one of the most anticipated individual games of this season. Let us get into every dimension of it. We begin with Lexie Hull, because the conversation surrounding her has shifted meaningfully in recent weeks, and that shift reflects something real happening on the floor. When Hull signed her two-year, $1.6 million extension through the 2027 season, there were skeptics. The $800,000 per year price point generated questions from observers who watched her struggle through the early portion of this season while managing a hamstring injury that had kept her out of all of Indiana's preseason games. Coming off the bench, working back to health, she was not delivering the consistent production that her contract value implied. The questions about whether the investment was justified were reasonable given what was visible in those early weeks. Those questions have been answered decisively. Hull's most impressive single-game performance against the Portland Fire, 16 points, a perfect 4 for 4 from three-point range, 100% field goal shooting, and a plus-minus of plus 25, represents one of the most efficient offensive outputs in recent WNBA history. The second most efficient 15-plus point game in league history by documented statistical data. But the larger story with Hull is not the single-game performance. The larger story is what she represents within the competitive structure surrounding Caitlin Clark.
What does Lexie's defense mean to your opening five?
Yeah, I think she's been great since, coming back from, the hamstring injury, and I told her she needs to stop falling down so much, and she's just constantly falling down. It stresses me out. Like, she's got this cut on her leg that just doesn't stop bleeding because she's always on the ground, but she's just tenacious. No matter who her matchup is, she's going to go after them. She's going to pick up full. She's going to do all the little things, and I think that's something you really, really appreciate. She doesn't care how many points she scores. She's out there to get deflections. She usually leads the team in deflections every single game. She's going to get steals. She's going to guard their best player. She's going to rebound the ball. She does so many things that, sometimes show up in the box score and sometimes they don't, but, she's always making an impact, and she's always in our best lineups. She's just a very selfless teammate, and then she's fun. The way she's been shooting the ball is also, very helpful to us as well. She spaces the floor really well, so it's been fun to kind of see her find her.
Hull is, by almost every observable measure, exactly the kind of teammate that Clark needs and operates best alongside. She understands where to be without the ball. Now let us move to Caitlin Clark, because there are multiple significant developments surrounding her that all deserve direct engagement. Clark posted a video on social media this week that has generated significant attention and significant discussion within the fan community. The video shows Clark making 4 consecutive three-pointers in succession. But the specific detail that makes the video genuinely noteworthy is not the volume of makes. It is the range from which those shots are being launched. She is shooting from deep, well beyond the standard three-point arc, from the kind of distance that characterizes the logo threes that have defined her most spectacular moments this season. And she is making them consecutively with ease in a practice environment that captures exactly the kind of shooting mechanics and rhythmic confidence that indicates a player who is fully locked in and operating at peak preparatory intensity. If anyone believed the three-point shooting struggles from the early weeks of this season reflected something permanent or structural about Clark's shooting capability, this video is the most direct possible rebuttal. She is out there practicing shots from range that most professional players do not attempt in live game situations, making them at a rate that communicates complete mastery of the shot from those distances. The three-point shooting that has been returning over recent games is not a temporary corrective phase. It is the full expression of a shooting capability that never went away. It was only suppressed by a system that was not creating the rhythm and the opportunities needed to sustain it. The version of Clark visible in that practice footage is the version that makes every defensive scheme against her inadequate. The physical dimension of the footage is also worth noting. Clark has been working to refine her physical conditioning, and the recent practice imagery reflects a player who is in excellent shape heading into a critical stretch of the season. This is the version of Clark that Indiana fans have been waiting to see operate at full capacity.
Yourself there?
Well, they had me standing there for a very long time, so I was like getting nervous. And then like they told me that the guy was gonna say, like, and here to give the command, and then he never said that, so I was like awkwardly kind of waiting for a second, and I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm just gonna go for it, they can adjust, and it turned out fine, but the crowd was cheering anyway, so it just kind of seemed like I was giving them a second to cheer, but yeah, it turned out well. I was definitely a little nervous. I'm usually not nervous when there's a microphone in my face, but when you get in front of 300,000 people and on live television, that's a lot. I didn't want to mess up my 4 words, so, but it was still super cool.
So they leave you up there just to sort of psych yourself out, just standing there staring at everything?
Yeah, you still got 3 minutes till you go, and then like the director, production person told me that the guy would come on and introduce me and say like, here to give the command, and then he didn't say that, he just introduced me, so I was like kind of waiting, and I was like, I think it's my time, and I just did it, so, but it turned out good, so, yeah.
Lexie talked about doing practice before the
Yeah.
out, you know?
I mean, it's only 4 words, so people were telling me like not to say, like not to mess me up and like telling me other things to say, but I'm like, no guys, I only have 4 words, but
She said you missed the pause though.
I did, I guess. You get nervous and then you talk way faster, like that's always how it goes. You think you're gonna talk slow and then you get out there and you go way faster because you're nervous, but nah, it's still good.
Story that provides some warmth within a season that has generated considerable friction. The competitive history between these two players, they faced each other in college basketball before finding themselves on the same professional team, makes the genuine friendship develop. It reflects the genuine concerns that have persisted throughout this season about what actually happens in Indiana Fever practice environments and whether that player is a generational performer doing generational things during a season that has required her to be more resilient, more competitive, and more individually excellent than any professional athlete should have to be. The record is coming. Thursday is the stage, and Caitlin Clark is ready.